Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on 25 different beauty products I've been using a lot lately. I mainly have makeup to talk about. Well, I guess like half of the video will be makeup and then half will be split between skincare and hair care. I've been using these products a lot over the last few months, mainly during the winter time, and I've used them up fully. I don't think I've done an empties video since I want to say December or January, so it's definitely time for me to update you on products that I've finished up, and I'll let you know if they are absolute staples, if I'll be repurchasing them, or if I've been able to replace them with something different. So I did use up a foundation, the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation, which is my absolute favorite. I've gone through so many of these. I think every year I usually use up about 2, sometimes 3, because I love this no matter what type of makeup look I'm going for. Lately, I've been going in with a super small amount and just blending it all over my face for more of like a sheer natural finish. Sometimes I'll mix it with like the Glow Recipe Dewdrops to add like a little bit more of a glow, but sometimes I'll build it up for more of like a true full coverage finish too. So normally I wear the shade 030 Neutral Sand, but during the winter that was just a little bit too dark for me. So I was actually mixing it with the LA Girl Mix-In Pigment in white to lighten it up. So when I repurchased it, I did repurchase it in Neutral Sand, but also in another shade, which the exact name, I can't remember, it's 07, but I've actually been mixing those two shades together and that has been like the perfect match for me. It really is worth it. It's such a good formula. I will always repurchase this. I did use up 2 different primers. So this is an older primer. I've been trying to use this up for such a long time because I knew it was going to go bad eventually. I mean, it was just like the oldest primer in my collection. So whenever I find something that I feel like is a little bit older, I do put more of a focus on it. It is the Catrice Prime and Vine Aqua Fresh Hydro Primer. So this specific primer is no longer available, but they redid their primer line a few years ago and they came out with newer versions, and the newer version is almost identical. So if you are still curious to try this out, I'll link the newer one below, but it's a really good dupe for the Smashbox Primerizer, which is why I loved this so much. It's very thin, very refreshing on the skin, really, really hydrating. So I did love use this during the winter time. And again, the newer version, I really don't think there's a big difference. I feel like the newer version is maybe a little bit more smoothing, but it's still really, really hydrating. So I'm glad I have that one on hand. And then I also used up the Caliray So Blown Clean Blurring Primer. I wasn't making like a conscious effort to use this up. I just used it so often that naturally I did finish it up. And I did end up repurchasing this during the Sephora sale. I didn't mention it in my haul video because I forgot to order it with my initial order. And then I used it up while the sale was still going on, which is when I repurchased it. But this is such a beautiful foundation. And I've really been using this a lot in like March and April because it is slightly mattifying, but it still feels really moisturizing on the skin. It's incredibly smoothing and it does make your foundation last longer throughout the day. I've actually loved this for years. I've had it for a while. So I finally used it up and I'm excited just to have it again because I've really been loving it lately. Okay, let's jump around a little bit. So let's talk moisturizers. It has been a long winter and I use moisturizer all year round, but especially during the winter, I feel like there is even more of a focus on a long-lasting moisturizer, like something that actually keeps my skin moisturized all day long and not just initially. The last few winters, I've really loved very intense, very thick, rich moisturizers. And this past winter, I've wanted something a little bit thinner that still leaves my skin moisturized all day long. So let me share the 2 that I used a lot during the winter, and then the other 2 I kind of had open before that. So this is from Peach and Lily. It's the Matcha Pudding Antioxidant Cream. I purchased this because a ton of you said you loved it, and I'm really glad I did. This is a very nice, light texture. They describe it as like a pudding-like texture, which I would say is accurate. I think it's kind of similar to like a gel cream, but maybe slightly thicker. A few of the main ingredients and claims, this does have matcha, which is meant to soothe the skin and help reduce the look of redness. It does feel very, very soothing. If you have like easily irritated skin, which is definitely my skin, especially during the winter, this is such like a comforting moisturizer because it just feels good the second you put it on. It does have niacinamide, which is supposed to just brighten the appearance of your skin and dark spots. And then it has like a peptide complex, a couple of other ingredients that are meant to help kind of smooth over the skin and reduce the look of fine lines. I don't think I really noticed a big difference in that area other than my skin just looking really moisturized in general, which ultimately helps with making your skin look a little bit smoother. So I wouldn't say that's why I personally like this moisturizer. I like it because it's really gentle and incredibly moisturizing initially and long term. So I will definitely pick this up. A lot of formulas, or pick this up again, a lot of formulas really irritate my neck. For some reason, my neck is so much more sensitive than my face, but I can use this on my neck without any issue. So I'm definitely a fan of this. I think whether you have oily skin, dry skin, normal skin, you could definitely benefit from this product. Another moisturizer I've been using a lot, especially during the winter, is this one from Byoma. This one is more affordable. The Peach and Lily one is around like the $40 price point. The Byoma one is $17, and I think they come with the exact same amount of product. They do. This is their Moisturizing Rich Cream. This is actually the first product I tried from the brand, and it definitely made me want to try more. This felt like a never-ending moisturizer, which was kind of nice. Like, I felt like I used this for months and months before I finally ran out of it. A little bit goes such a long way. It is a nice, like medium thickness. It's not as thin or like as bouncy as the Peach and Lily, but it's not as heavy as like the ones that come in the jar, like the thick over the top luxurious creams that I really liked last year. A couple of key ingredients. It does have a triceramide complex, which they say is supposed to help balance your skin's barrier and just restore natural moisture. It has bakuchiol, which is supposed to kind of work as more of like a natural retinol and just kind of smooth over the skin and help balance tone. And then it also has shea extract as well. Again, with a lot of moisturizers, I won't say that they smooth over my skin like they kind of claim to do, which isn't generally what I'm looking for in a moisturizer. But I do think they both leave my skin looking smooth because it is so moisturized and just feeling really good, not tight at all. So I love both of these. This one's more affordable. This one is maybe like a little bit glowier. It gives you that glass skin look that a lot of, Peach and Lily products claim to do. So they're both great options. I better speed it up or we're going to be here all day. So these next two moisturizers I've actually probably had on rotation for at least a year. I was mainly using these in like the spring and the summertime, and then I finished them up in the winter. The first one is from the Inkey list. It's their Omega Water Cream. I really like the texture of this moisturizer. It's very light. It's the lightest out of all of the ones I'm mentioning. It is like a gel cream, but it's almost like a watery gel cream. So a little bit goes a long way. It feels like you're kind of applying a serum mixed with a moisturizer. It sinks in very, very quickly, and I feel like it does a good job of moisturizing. If you have dry skin, you might need something a little bit heavier, which the Inkey list does have a really good peptide moisturizer. I forget the exact name. I'll put a picture on the screen. I really like that one too, but this is great for mornings, when I'm wearing makeup, when I'm in a hurry, because it does sink in quickly. I think I opened this Tula moisturizer last spring, and I was mainly using it in the spring and the summer, and I just kind of went back to it because I wanted to use it up fully. It's the Bright Start Vitamin C Antioxidant Moisturizer. I love the texture of this one and the way it feels. It feels very smoothing, and it has this nice creamy texture to it. So it feels really good on the skin. And again, I love using it in the morning time, but I don't know if this one really lives up to its claims. It claims to really brighten the skin. Because it has vitamin C in it, it's supposed to kind of target like dark spots. It's also supposed to target like texture and uneven skin tone. I don't know that it does that. It's just kind of hard to tell sometimes when it comes to skincare, because if you're using actual treatments and serums and actives that are meant to do that as well, and I see results, I'm usually attributing it to those products. And I feel like even if I cut all of those out and just use this, I would find that my skin was moisturized, but I wouldn't really think that this was brightening it a lot. It probably wouldn't even make a noticeable difference, to be honest with you. The reason I keep buying it is because I just like the way it feels. Like, it leaves my skin feeling soft and smooth without looking overly glowy. So a lot of the time I would use this when I wasn't wearing makeup that day, and then I would just throw like SPF on top. So out of the four, if I had to rank them right now, I would say Peach and Lily is number 1, and then Byoma is number 2. The Inkey list is number 3, but during the summer, this would move up because it's so lightweight, and then Tula is number 4. But I do like all 4 of them. Even though these are like 3 and 4 in my ranking right now, I do think they're still worth the money, and I would repurchase them. I did use up the Charlotte Tilbury powder. I didn't save the little pan that goes inside. I should have, just for today's video, but we were actually actually out of town. I was at Sephora and I was like, oh, I actually need this powder. I'm running low. And I figured I would just buy it in person instead of ordering one thing online. You can actually buy a refill pan, which is really nice because I think it's like $8 less expensive than buying a brand new compact. And that Charlotte Tilbury powder is expensive, but I do love it so much. I will say I'm kind of on like a loose powder kick again. I go back and forth. I love pressed powder. I love loose powder. Right now I'm using the Huda Beauty powder again. So I haven't used the Charlotte Tilbury a ton over the last month or two, but I do love that. I think it looks so good on the skin. It's really great under the eyes. I was actually using it on my entire face and it did last a little bit longer than I thought it would, which is always nice, especially when it comes to more of an expensive makeup product. I did use up 2 different concealers. I repurchased both of these during the Sephora sale. So I used up the Natasha Denona one first, and I actually didn't have this in my routine for like a month or two. And I did really miss it. I had another one, but the shade was a little bit off, so I wasn't even using this. And I definitely felt like there was something missing because there are so many days where I wanted to reach for this. Instead of just like running out and buying it right away, I wanted to wait till I could get it on sale, even though it was only a few dollars. So that allowed me to use this one even more, the Tower 28 one, which I do love, but I like them for different reasons. Natasha Denona is a little bit creamier, has a little more coverage, and Tower 28 is a little bit more hydrating. So I like them both just for different reasons, and I did end up repurchasing them because they are like my top 2 concealers right now. Let's talk about a few things I'm not going to repurchase. So I actually had this in my Sephora cart and I took it out because I really didn't think I needed it. It is the Amika Perk Up Dry Shampoo. I do really like this dry shampoo, but it's pretty expensive compared to some of the other alternatives that I like that are more of like a drugstore price. This one comes with 5 ounces for $28. I do go through dry shampoo pretty quickly, so sometimes it is hard to justify more of a high-end dry shampoo when there are other options that are really great that are only a few dollars. I do love this one. It does have a pretty strong scent. It's like a very fresh, kind of florally scent. It does smell nice, but if you don't like really strongly scented dry shampoos, I would skip over this one. It is really effective, and that's why I had it in my Sephora cart initially because I do love it. I just kind of want to go a few months and see if I'm really content with my other ones, my other favorites, before committing to like a $28 dry shampoo. I also don't plan on repurchasing this one. This one's even more expensive, the Vegamore Grow Dry Shampoo. So this one comes with 3.95 ounces, but it retails for, let me double check. Okay, it retails for 36. Now, both of these are talc-free, which that is really important to a lot of people. This one claims to, what does it say exactly? I want to get it right. Okay, so this does claim to remove oil, dirt, and sweat, like pretty much every other formula claims as well. But then it says it has clinically tested phytoactives to visibly increase hair density. I originally tried it because it came in a FabFitFun box, and I liked the actual formula so much that I bought it again. It's very lightweight and very effective, and it has like a nice light citrus scent, but I just didn't see that there was any sort of difference in the way my hair looked, like my actual hair density. When I wear my hair in a bun, like sometimes I won't say I have like bald spots, but sometimes I feel like there is some thinness there and it just doesn't look any different. And I don't know that you would really see results from just a dry shampoo alone. I know they have like shampoos, conditioners, serums, treatments, and those might be a little bit more effective, but for $36, I just can't justify repurchasing this because I like the formula and it might do something for me. It's just too expensive. I think I'm going to repurchase this one. Right now I'm using the Eva NYC Invisible Dry Shampoo, which does a really great job, but I think this one's a little bit more effective. It's from Hask. It's the Charcoal Purifying Dry Shampoo. I used to use the IGK First Class Charcoal Detox Dry Shampoo, and then I stopped buying that one. I think it kind of started to irritate my scalp, but that one was incredibly effective. Like it made my hair look super clean, and I feel like this one is a little bit of a less intense version of that one. It definitely just refreshes my roots. It leaves my hair looking clean. Again, there's a scent. I don't know if I've ever tried a dry shampoo that doesn't have a scent. If you guys have, you'll have to let me know. It's not that the scents really bother me, but I feel like a lot of dry shampoos have such a strong, overpowering scent that it's really noticeable even throughout the day. This one's maybe a little bit less intense. I can't really smell it. I feel like this one is kind of like a fresh scent. It's not fruity and it's not floral. And sometimes I just don't want like an overly floral dry shampoo because it doesn't mix well with my perfume. I usually spray them on at night. And so I feel like by the morning, most of the scent kind of disappears. But again, I feel like this one is just very effective if your hair is pretty oily, if you're dealing with like second or third or fourth day hair, which usually I wash my hair like every day, or not every day, every other day or every 2 days. So generally I don't feel like I need a super heavy duty formula, but if I'm going like every 2 days on that second day, I will use this one and I feel like it works really, really well. I finished the Glossier Boy Brow. Again, I don't know why, but this seemed to last forever. Like I've had this specific brow gel for such a long time. I can't remember the last time I purchased it. I just bought a new one during the Sephora sale and I love this. I was using the NYX one and then I ran out of my NYX one, so I went back to this one and I just couldn't stop using it. I love that the brush is so small because I feel like it's just perfect for shaping my brows how I want them. The NYX brush, I've said this before, it's just a little bit too big and I feel like I end up making a mess. It's a really good brow gel. Like it's kind of a toss up for me between this one and NYX. They're a little bit different, but if the NYX had like this tiny brush, that would for sure be the winner. This is almost best like right before you run out. I like it when it dries up quite a bit because right in the beginning when you open it, it's just a little bit too wet, so you have to scrape off a lot of product. And I feel like barely any product on the brush is perfect. It holds your brows into place. It looks so natural and pretty. And I just love it. It's one of my favorite products. So I did repurchase this. I almost used up this Makeup Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer. I'm counting it as finished. My lid broke off and it doesn't stay on there very well. So a lot of the bronzer is kind of dried up. And I found that to be the case with my other one. Like once I got to this point, the edges just weren't quite as creamy. That's kind of to be expected with cream bronzers. So usually when I'm almost finished with it, I purchase a new one and I started using the new one. And again, it's just so creamy and blendable. So at this point, I feel like this one has changed a little bit. And I mean, I got a ton of use out of this. I think I opened this one like beginning of summer and I use this almost every single day. So one of my absolute favorite formulas. Okay, so I did use up 2 eye creams. As you know, or maybe you don't, but if you've been around my channel for a while, you're probably sick of hearing me talk about this. The It Cosmetics Confidence in an Eye Cream is my favorite. I always have it on hand because typically it goes on sale during like a Black Friday sale or a 21 Days of Beauty, although it was not on sale during the spring 21 Days of Beauty, so hopefully it will be in the fall. It's just very creamy, very moisturizing, really gentle, and I feel like it just smooths over any dryness or fine lines. I looked up the price and it's expensive. It's $47.50, but I never buy it for full price because it's always discounted, usually for like 50% off. The other one I used up is this one from OSEA. It's the Advanced Repair Eye Cream. I really like the moisturizer from this line, which is what I was using like last winter, all winter long, because it's super intense. So I thought I would try the eye cream. This is expensive. And again, I think I got this on sale during an Ulta sale, or I used my points because normally I wouldn't spend $68 on an eye cream, but it's really nice. So these actually come with no, not the same. The OSEA one comes with 0.6 ounces. It Cosmetics is 0.5 fluid ounces, but this seems to last so much longer because it is a thick, super rich cream. So you honestly need the tiniest amount. I want to say it lasted me almost twice as long as the It Cosmetics one. It is very hydrating. If you deal with extreme dryness around your eyes, I think you'll like this formula because it is one of the thickest, richest eye creams I've tried. Now, I know not everyone feels the need to use an eye cream, but for me personally, my regular moisturizers just don't cut it. And during the winter, sometimes I deal with extreme dryness, like on my brow bone and even not exactly like directly under my eyes, but kind of like in the outer corners. And the It Cosmetics one does a great job, but this one is even more intense. So I don't plan on repurchasing this because it is spring, and thankfully a lot of that dryness goes away when the weather changes. I will go back to this one, but it's not on sale right now. So I'm currently using one from the Inkey list, their caffeine eye cream, which is very lightweight. It's really nice, but these are both great for the winter time. I'll probably stick with It Cosmetics because it is more affordable, but I'm telling you, if you have dry skin, this is the one to use. I actually only have one shampoo and conditioner to share in today's video because I've been using these since December and I really haven't switched it up. I was dealing with a little bit of breakage back here somewhere because here it is. Actually, I do feel like it's kind of grown a little bit and it's not as noticeable because I think I talked about this a few months ago, but I was using the what is it called? It's like a beach waver, like a triple barrel curling iron to crimp my hair basically a lot in November and December, and it just like fried my hair off. There's probably some other breakage. Is it on this side? I feel like my hair back here is a little bit shorter too. Anyway, I feel like it broke off in this area because I couldn't really see. So I feel like I was holding the iron in place a little bit too long. And I just noticed as a whole, my hair felt kind of dry. My hair is kind of dry anyway. I do way too much heat styling. I know I need to put the heat tools down, and that is one of my goals as we head into the summertime. But anyway, because my hair was like fried off in those areas and it just felt so dry because I was using that tool so much, I loved the way it made my hair look. It just didn't leave my hair feeling very nice at all. I decided to try the Olaplex number 4 and number 5. These are their bond maintenance shampoo and conditioner, and they're supposed to repair, strengthen, and nourish all hair types. I haven't tried anything else from Olaplex with the exception of their hair oil, which I feel like is fine. There are so many other hair oils out there. That's not like my top favorite. But I think overall, this formula did make a difference for me. Like my hair is less frizzy. I do feel like the appearance of split ends is less noticeable, and it can't really like fully repair your hair, obviously, but I do feel like my hair is in better shape. I've also been really great at using a heat protectant, which to be honest, that's not something I've always been like 100% amazing at. I did repurchase the shampoo and conditioner because it was on sale during, was it 21 Days of Beauty or the spring haul? I think it was the 21 Days of Beauty. It was like 30 or 40% off. I can't remember exactly, but I did purchase them because I could get them for a discounted price. A little bit goes a long way. Like I said, I've been using these since like December, January, February, March. They lasted me 4 months and they each come with 8 ounces. I feel like that's a long time for me. Like I don't always fly through shampoo and conditioner, but I noticed like right from the beginning, a little shampoo is all that's needed, a little bit of conditioner. And occasionally I would use like a hair mask throughout the 4 months, but I think the formula worked really well for my hair. So like I said, I have been good at using a heat protectant. I used up this one from Heritage by Mindy McKnight. It's the Play It Cool Heat Protectant Spray. I think it was good. The actual nozzle is terrible, so I would just spray it into my hand and then kind of apply it to my hair, which I think actually allowed me to apply it a little bit more evenly. This did a really good job. I kind of want to switch it up and try something different, so I don't know that I will go back to this one right away, but I would repurchase it in the future. I did use up the Hask Argan Oil 5-in-1 leave-in spray. I had this open for a really long time. I was kind of using this as a heat protectant, but I feel like it didn't really do enough to protect my hair. I think it's a good detangler, a good leave-in conditioner. It does leave my hair feeling soft, frizz-free. It smells good, but I feel like I need something a little bit more intense to actually protect my hair. So I don't feel like I'm going to repurchase this right now, but I do like the product. And then I don't plan on repurchasing this. It's the Eva NYC Main Magic 10-in-1 Primer. I did really like this for a while. There's a little bit left in here. I think it's just a little bit too heavy for my hair. They have a light version, which I used up a few months ago, and the light version is definitely more ideal if you have like very easily weighed down hair. This does a really good job of detangling my hair, adding shine, leaving it frizz-free. Like I can spray this in my hair, brush it out, and let my hair air dry, and it pretty much dries straight, but it also dries like flat to my head. Not that I have like a ton of volume going on normally, and I'm just having like a horrible hair day today anyway. I recently dyed it, and every time I dye it for like a week straight, it looks bad and it doesn't do anything I want it to do. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I don't plan on repurchasing that. I feel like it's just a little bit too heavy for my hair. I haven't been doing like a leave-in conditioner. I've just been doing like a heat protectant, and then sometimes I'll add like a little bit of oil as well. So I don't plan on buying like a new leave-in conditioner right now, like Hask or Eva NYC, but I am curious to know what your favorite heat protectant is. And then I have a couple of other like oils and other products that I'm working my way through. Here's the NYX Brow Gel. So I did use up the Thick It Stick It, which I love. I will end up repurchasing this. I'm not in a big hurry because I do have the Glossier and I feel like I kind of use them interchangeably. I did use up 3 different mascaras. So the Milani Highly Rated, I did repurchase this in brown a little while ago, which is the one that I currently have open. And I feel like the brown one is very, very similar to the black. It's not a lot different. I've been using that one recently. It's like a very dark, almost like black brown. So when I run out of that, I'll probably just go back to black. But I love this. It's such a good volumizing, lengthening, dramatic mascara. I did use up 2 of the Tower 28 MakeWaves mascaras over the last few months, and I repurchased this during the Sephora Spring Savings event. And I feel like mine came dried out, but I'm pretty sure they were brand new. So I've mentioned this in a couple of recent videos. The formula is just not the same as it originally was. I still love it. I'm wearing it today. I feel like it gives me a lot of drama. They just don't last as long. So I feel like I fly through them because they dry out so quickly. A few of you have mentioned that you don't think they changed the formula. You just think the product is drying out in storage, which is really interesting. So I don't know what kind of like stability test they ran when they were creating this formula, but that could absolutely be the case. So I don't know. I think there's a way that you can check the manufacturing date because I know some people do that when they go to like TJ Maxx or Marshalls. So I am kind of curious. Maybe I'll have to take a look at mine and see if I can figure that out. But either way, it's just not as good as it was when they initially created it. But it's still my favorite. So I feel like for now, I'll keep repurchasing it. It's just, if it goes, like if it dries out even faster than it does at this point, I'll have to move on and just go with something else. Finishing up with two skincare products. This was the Never Ending Cleanser. I had this open for months and months. It was in my shower. I would use it in the morning when I was washing my face. And usually I will use like a very lightweight gel cleanser in the morning in the shower because I don't want something too intense, too moisturizing. I really like this cleanser. It definitely would have been more ideal in the spring and summer compared to the winter, but it was just what I had on hand, so I decided to try it out. I liked this the more that I used it. When I first tried it, I was like, it's fine. It's not anything super special, but by the end, I was really enjoying it. It's very, very gentle, so if you have sensitive skin, if you know someone who's just kind of like getting into skincare, like a preteen or a teen, this is going to be a great option, but you don't have to be a teen to use this. If you like a nice lightweight gel cleanser, I think you'll like this. It's definitely not anything, super special. It doesn't have any specific ingredients that I feel like make a big difference in my routine. It's just like a good lightweight gel cleanser. I think I might go back to this, but I also feel like I like the Dermalogica one and I like the Inkey List one that are both like acne fighting cleansers. And I feel like those come in handy during the summer when my skin can be a little bit more breakout prone. So we'll see. I really do like the texture of this. So it's added to like my favorites list. So eventually I probably will grab it again. The last product is the Garnier Micellar Water, the waterproof one, which I will continue to buy because I always use this to remove my makeup. When I'm not using it on my face, if I'm using something like a cleansing balm or a cleansing oil, I still use this on my eyes because it's very gentle. It doesn't leave them like cloudy. Some cleansers on the eyes leave like a weird film or like a cloudiness that's kind of hard to remove. That doesn't happen with this one, and it takes everything off, even super hard to remove mascara. So I love it. It's very gentle. I just, kind of put it on my washcloth and just gently like press it to my eye and then lightly take it off, and it works great. That is everything I wanted to share with you in today's video. I hope this video was helpful if you were considering any of these products. I tried a lot of great products. I had a lot of staples, so not anything that was too terrible, but a few things that I probably won't repurchase anytime soon. So thanks for being here and watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you very soon with a new one. Bye.